Welcome to Campfire Wisdom. Grab a seat around the fire and tell us your story.
Welcome back to Campfire Wisdom. All right, that was a little cheesy, but that was awesome.
I
I
just
loved
spit
it.
my beer out because it's so cheesy.
There's something about being cheesy that's like being honest, right?
Sure.
I feel like when you're like
Deep
cheesy,
down, we're all
deep down,
cornballs.
we're all cheesy, yeah. So
Ugh.
we're up here at McGill Campground, number 55. I'm here with Alex Stickroff, Nick Gagnon, and Marian Bruno Gagnon. So, and we have what's called a very special treat here. We have a tarot. What is it? Is it a deck of tarot cards, or is it
It's just
tarot?
tarot cards, but it's not like tarot. It's like you're using symbols and imagery to connect with your higher thoughts.
Okay. So I have never done this before, and we're actually going to kind of do a little tarot reading for everybody here.
Where are we, Greg?
We're at McGill Campground.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. We've got
180-degree view of mountains.
We escaped the nasty humidity of Los Angeles, and it looked like it
Fresh, clean air.
so clean, man. It was supposed to look like it was supposed to rain, but I think we actually managed to dodge that bullet. So
It was supposed to rain. We gambled.
got
We
some
won.
brews. Nick's tearing up some snap pea pods.
There's a fire
Those
going in the
are delicious.
background.
Yeah, we got a
I'm
little
shuffling
some
cards.
fire.
So, Greg, if I'm going to read you, you need to hold the cards like that.
Okay.
Shuffle them.
So I need to hold them.
Sit down and get comfortable
Okay.
first of all.
All right.
Forget about the everything, the audio and the people. Nick, honey, why don't you
All
sit
right.
down and stop chomping so he can concentrate?
So I'm going to be holding these cards.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm
And, like,
infusing
shuffle
them.
them.
Shuffle them. Any particular way I need to shuffle them? Up or down?
No, just, like you would do any card. And while you're doing that, you're connecting with these little material. They're
I'm-
symbols
okay.
you're connecting with.
Gotcha. But I'm not
So-
supposed to see them. I just need to like know that I'm having a bond with the.
Yeah, just
Just
shuffle
the
them.
deck.
Don't think about it too much.
Okay.
Okay? And I
Silence, Greg.
No, it's not about silence.
No,
it's
I'm just
about there's no right or wrong way.
Gotcha.
So just
All right.
think about a question you want to ask, something you really want to know or need guidance.
Okay.
It can be yes or no, or it can be like a broader thing or whatever you're grappling with at the moment, and really think about it.
Who am I? No, I'm kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
Where are we?
Where am I?
What
Oh,
year
sorry.
is it? Really?
What year is it actually? If you think about
2000.
how old is the Earth, like if you were actually
It's
to
not
say.
2017 because that's
No.
only according to Jesus Christ.
Right. Exactly.
It's like on millions and millions of teens. All right, no, you don't have to shake it. He's being weird, like he's
Oh!
It's not like that.
You remember
Okay,
from Indiana Jones?
it's supposed to be like an arrow. It's
Okay.
pointing you in the directions of your thoughts.
Okay. So
Okay.
I've infused the tarot cards, and by the way, I'm being legit. I believe in this stuff, so I'm not trying to be.
It's not about, but it doesn't even matter if you believe in it. Who fucking cares? All right. you
I'm
have
trying to
your-
be
you have-
sincere.
I get it. I'm sincere
Okay.
too.
All right.
I'm honest. Okay, so you have your little question. Close
Okay.
your eyes.
Okay.
Rub your hands together. Get some heat. Energy connects. Remember your question and we can
All
be
right.
quiet for a second.
Question.
Deep breath. Okay, close your eyes and put your left hand over the cards and kind of hover them over. You're going to feel different energy or a pull, left and right. Just let it guide you and chill the fuck out and ask your question. And then your little instincts, your fingers are going to go ahead and grab something. And you just let it happen.
This guy right here.
Okay. And then I'll read it.
All right.
Okay, this is the Hanged Man. That's interesting. One of my life cards.
That's not good based on the
all right,
question
so
I
first
asked.
of all, you need to look at this.
Okay.
The beautiful thing about this deck is that
The
the
artwork.
images are insane. So I want you to first look at it and
Okay.
try to see if there's any part of the imagery that you connect with or anything comes to mind.
So I connect with, it's got, so the card is Hanged Man. The number on the top is 12. And it's got like this endless staircase. It also has like a lot of like galactic stuff going on with it, a lot of water-based things, which I relate to, water and galactic stuff.
How does that image make you feel, though?
Like it's water, I can see it, but it reminds me of a galaxy. It almost feels like I'm out in outer space, like I'm traveling time and space.
But apart from environment and position
It makes
in
me
the space,
feel
how does it make you feel?
a little calm, but at the same time kind of like hopeless, but not hopeless in a bad way. Hopeless like, why are you fighting it?
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like you can't fight what's ahead of you.
There's a fight.
There's a fight.
Yeah, it looks
Like
like you're
this,
getting dropped into
You're
an
going down this, you're going to get sucked in. So
abyss. You're drowning.
just accept it. The more you fight it, the harder it'll be.
So it says in the little booklet, I didn't write this.
Okay.
The upside down hangman symbolizes the law of reversal. As in the crucifixion of Christ, victory and success are achieved in a manner opposite from any expected. Instead of assertive movement and forceful resistance, salvation is attained through passive surrender. Let go, surrender, give it up. When feeling hung up, encircled, netted, and walled in, wait it out. Assume a holding pattern. You are in suspense, a limbo that demands you tread water. Accepting your limitations brings expansion. The octopus tentacles signify that you are under constrictive influences beyond your control. I can attest that you are.
Yep.
Surrender your ego. The feeling that you are drowning and being dragged to the depths is the dark night of the soul. The preparatory stage for rebirth and new life. Keep the faith, believe in your divine grace. The hanged man is also symbolic of compassionate self-sacrifice. Like Christ, giving yourself up for the good of others enables you to transcend the ego and achieve union with the great spirit of the universe. The shadow or negative side of the hangman, a tendency to despair, head hang low, feel sorry for yourself, martyr complex, drown your sorrows in drink, broken glass, or abuse yourself, sick looking dog.
Interesting.
Anything ring true?
Totally. I think actually it relates a lot to the whole like IVF process that I'm going through.
I was thinking of that the whole time.
Yeah. So I don't need to, the question I revealed is like going through some challenge right now personally in that department with, trying to get pregnant and just like personal life. I definitely see that, like the octopus thing, that rang true. Like you got 2 arms and you're fighting something that has 8. How are you going to win? You know what I mean? You got to kind of surrender. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
There's things you can control and things you can't. And I guess for people who don't know, my girlfriend and I have been trying to have kids for about 1.5 years now. We're 5 cycles into the IVF process. So we're knee deep in the shit, so to speak, trying to get some results. So that's amazing actually.
Well, I could also empathize with that because me and my husband have been trying to have children for 2 years as well, and it feels like never-ending, like something beneath you that's sucking you down.
Yeah, because it's in some ways, it's one of those things. It's like it's supposed to be automatic, it's supposed to be it's supposed to be free, B, it's supposed to be easy,
it's supposed to be natural,
and C, it's supposed to be natural.
Fun.
I know.
It's supposed to come from the best feeling of all time, which is love.
Right.
And the fact that it doesn't happen that easily in that way, it makes you kind of question everything you wanted.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, no, what's going on?
But,
You got some wildlife?
What's wrong?
No, you gotta check this out over here. There's a really bizarre
What?
lightning storm going on over
All right.
No
here.
shit.
Like orange
Fucking.
lightning.
Wait, like fucking alien
Will
shit?
the cards be okay? They're not going to blow away?
Are we recording the podcast of the end of the world?
I got the mics here. So
Zip it up or is it good?
that's good. Yeah. So. Oh my gosh. No shit.
It's moving left.
Hercules, y'all.
That just missed us. I think that just passed over us.
Yeah, I think you're right.
The storm?
Because the wind's going right where that
But why
was.
is the storm red?
I think it's reflecting off the light or something. But some of it's white. That's what's crazy. Some of the lightning is white.
You know, I tell you what, it makes me think of like Arizona, the monsoons, man. I miss those. Wow.
Greg, did you like your reading?
I did actually.
Did you guys finish?
Yeah.
I think so.
Alex, what
So-
did you?
I got the Hanged Man, which is basically almost like you're screwed, but don't be screwed. Like,
Okay.
like you have to like not fight it. Did you get the sense of that too, Marian?
Yeah, let it go. This is the
Let it
time
go.
where you might have to be a little bit of a martyr, but
I know.
you know, like it's part of it. I guess. I used to get that a lot. That card.
The Hang card, yeah.
It changes. I've had a lot of positive cards lately.
So how often do you like? Would it be typical to do a tarot?
We at least once a week.
I come home sometimes and I'm just like, do a tarot for me.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I just want to know what's going on. Change the energy.
But
Yeah,
you
exactly.
still have to pick it, right? That's the part where you have to be involved.
I just have her
Okay.
like run the deck.
Okay, gotcha. I'd love to see if you guys want to
Yeah.
get on it too.
Sure.
Yeah.
Or what?
Nick, you're mic'd, right?
Do a reading.
I'm not. No, you're not. But do me. If I sit close
Yeah.
enough to Marian, that'll be fun.
I'm in the wilderness. Give me a break. Had a lot of white wine. A fire going.
God,
Inside.
it's so fucking gorgeous out here tonight.
It's stupid pretty.
It is.
I really did not expect this.
Neither did I. Look at the moon. Look, check out the haze around the moon. It's kind of cool.
Okay. What do you got?
Ringle ding dong dang. Take the cards.
Do me.
You know the drill.
All right, so Nick is stepping up to the deck. Oop.
And he dropped a card. Hi. Now I gotta re-bless him with my goddamn holy shit.
Marian.
What? Fuck. Gotta tap into my inner fucking Jesus.
So how did you first get
piss
into
on those
this?
cards.
How did you learn about this? Is this a
I don't know,
Louisiana
it's
thing?
Fun? No, my friend showed it to me, and I just thought the cards were so pretty. And every time she read them, it just felt like it was something I needed to hear.
Okay.
So I started reading up on it, doing my thing. Are you eating a grape?
I always think of like the Renaissance Fair when I think of the tarot cards.
Oh my God! Why?
I had it done there years ago, but
Scary
yeah.
circumstances.
Am I good?
Did you think of your question?
No.
Visualize.
Oh man, I really just with my husband, y'all. I gotta just tell him everything.
Yeah.
I can't like miss a beat.
No. No.
Oh, okay. Honey, take them and shuffle and then think your question.
Okay. I'm good. Got my question. Do we need intro music for him? I think you'll know. Whatever you play is what's meant to be for me.
As you cut it like a poker deck.
The degenerate in me came out. Yeah.
This sounds like high stakes. Oh, no, it doesn't.
High stakes.
That's
Anyway,
good.
Okay.
That's a good resolution.
just
there.
sounded like it was gonna be. Thank you for wrapping that up. I was gonna be on edge.
You should be on the Oscars. Get those people off stage.
I was really nervous. I was gonna just keep going on. All right, honey. What's your question? Ask the fortune teller.
Am I good?
Yeah. Close your eyes. Make your power of your hand. It's gonna feel it. Ask your question in your head. Envision getting the right answer. Okay. Slapped it on the first one on the top of the
My
deck.
hand wanted not to move.
Well, it's strength, so that made sense. He slapped it down very forcefully. There's a lot of red. A lion. A river
Ooh,
of
let me see
blood.
this.
So one time I got a card I liked so much, I just like carried it around and used it as a bookmark, and she got really mad.
I hope you brought it back. Honey,
You're ruining the odds.
You need a full deck. God damn.
Oh, wow.
Walking around with happiness.
Honey,
What do you see there,
honey,
man?
what do you see? What does this make you?
I like this.
What does it make you feel?
It makes me feel
Like a virgin?
for the very first time.
All that blood?
It makes me feel like strength. It makes me feel like strength in vulnerability. That's what the card.
Why? What's
'Cause
the vulnerable part?
The lion is strong, but it is not like roaring. It's not peacocking. It's just being a lion.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It doesn't need to
Exert its power.
exactly. Okay.
All right, honey.
Okay.
I'm going to read it.
Okay.
As Leo the lion, you're a Leo, right? honey?
Yes, I am a Leo.
No shit.
Yeah. Symbolic of rulership. Strength represents the law of self-dominion. Strength is the free and controlled self-dominion, total expression of your being. As symbolized by the headrest Shu, Egyptian god of air who brought order out of chaos. Maintain dominion over your mind. The pool of fiery water symbolizes your emotional control. The hand in the lion's face represents dominion over your physical and animal lusts and appetites. Lusts. The Parthenon is a symbol of your mastery over your worldly life. Your supportive, non-possessive hands represent the freedom of expression you give to your attributes. Like the singing bird and blossoming flower, don't be afraid to declare yourself and show your colors. Have the courage of the lion and be yourself. Like the half-human, half-animal face, you can put on many masks, be versatile and play many roles. As the fragile but strong egg and butterfly, express yourself in the yin and yang. Strength is living in full accord with the undiluted multiplicity of your spirit. The shadow of negative side of strength. Your expressiveness, however, can lead to vanity, prideful ego, and show-off-ishness. Your strength and desire for control can be domineering, oppressive, and intimidating.
Kind of nailed it on the head right there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it
You
did.
have a response to that?
Well, because at work, you were saying to go for new things, right? And to branch out. And like at work, I feel like I'm at a point where I'm at a point of editing where you can't really go much higher unless it's producing, right? And that's a weird thing for me. So I'm on this very fine line where there's a lot of limbo in where I'm at. But as I get towards that line, I freak and I try to grasp for position, like pole position, right? And I feel like I can be like overbearing at work, and I need to exert power to put myself where I need to be, but I feel like it does intimidate other people, and I can feel that, and I can feel them being off-put by it, but to me it's what I need to do in order to get to where I need to go.
So what did you learn
That's
from
interesting.
that?
So that's would you say that's spot on?
It's fucking spot on, yeah.
Yeah, wow.
And you were
And
feeling
like I was
that?
writing
Were you
emails,
thinking about
and you were
that?
saying today, like, express yourself. I've written my bosses one email this year about somebody who wasn't doing a good job and just was affecting the team, and I composed another email today to like let them know where I was at and where I think I need to go in order to best help the show. And I didn't send it because I was just like, is this me being too much? Is this me being like, I know I deserve it, but is me saying it the right thing to do? And so I didn't send it. But
Why?
this was like I
need to
didn't
send
send
it.
it yet.
You
But
can
that
still,
You need
you
to
can
send
still
it.
send it.
That's
You can
the
still
world
send it.
I'm in.
Let me
Yeah.
ask you about the guy that you wrote that about. Did you talk to him first?
Absolutely. No,
Nick would
it
never
was
do
last-
that.
I didn't
think so, I just was
That would be
curious.
the last
Yeah,
straw.
It was last resort.
Yeah.
It was
That's
like,
good.
hey, ask me as many questions as you want. And I was one of 12 people to be like, this person needs to go now. It was basically like paying somebody for just doing nothing. But yeah, no, yeah.
It's weird why they wouldn't be relieved to let go of somebody not doing a lot of work. Wouldn't you want to get somebody in there as fast as possible that was doing more work?
Entertainment industry.
Nepotism, right?
It's all very weird. But yes, that card
Sorry,
was.
dude.
So what did
Hard
you learn from
resonate.
it as far as what are you going to do next?
I don't know. I feel like it's said to be strong and to open up and to you know, and to push myself out there. But then it also said don't be overpowering, don't intimidate people. So I feel like it didn't give me much clarity. It just confirmed what
That you're
is going
in the
on.
middle.
Yeah.
You're
So
conflicted.
not much clarity, but very cool.
But maybe just as long as you're being mindful of that, before you take an action, and you check yourself, then you can
Yeah.
send it and, knowing,
Or you
okay.
consider the other person, how they're going to get affected by
Yeah.
it.
Are we allowed to say how we interpreted that?
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Because
That's my
I
favorite
think
part.
that you, because you're just in general, you're good. You don't want to, you don't want to overpower people and hurt people. That reserves yourself. But I think in like this situation, you can't be overpowering to someone who's above you. I think that's impossible.
I like that.
If somebody technically on the ladder, on this chain that's of command or hierarchy or whatever, is above you, there's no overpowering, I don't think. I don't
Yeah.
think there is.
I'm more
I think overpowering is demeaning people below you.
Yeah, I more meant peers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know that's what you're
Like
saying. But I think
yeah.
that's but in your second situation where you were saying
Right.
that I don't think is overpowering. I think that's
That is a good idea. Yeah. That
I don't know. That's my
There's no, so there's
that's the
no,
way I interpret it.
there's no risk of coming across as intimidating if he's your boss.
You're not going
Right.
to
Yeah,
boss.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. That's true. I can see that.
So he might learn something from you. I don't think he'll think of it as something that's like to be. Is this guy trying to take my job? I mean,
right.
it depends
no,
on the person
no,
too.
No,
but-
they would never. They would never. Your turn.
You get a beer.
Thank you, Marian. You wanna beer me, bro?
Should we state that our tarot card reader is had a few goldfish?
Hey, that's fine. This is
I don't give a fuck. Free information for America.
yeah.
Hashtag
Oh,
freedom,
damn.
bitch. I have smoked. I have eaten. He's slapping me back
You
now.
have imbibed.
I've smoked. I've eaten weed goldfish. Had a few glasses of Sauvignon Blanc. I'm not gonna lie, but I feel hooked up, tuned in.
Yeah, right. There's something about that, being tuned
It's
in.
not even about the substances I just mentioned. It's more about being outside.
Yeah,
Have you?
All right,
yeah.
While you're readying, Alex, go ahead.
you go ahead.
I gotta say, the solitary light on the table, it's very, I feel like it's just like
Calming.
an old setting, right? I feel like they did this hundreds of years ago.
They sure did.
I want to toss another log on the fire for you.
We should.
I got you, bro.
Yeah, Greg.
Gonna need that ambiance.
That
Hey,
moon,
the
that
same.
moon is busting through them clouds.
Hey,
Looks
Greg, you
real
want to
nice.
play me in?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I was gonna grab it if there's something.
Oh yeah, let's
Honey,
do
just-
that.
Al, you've seen two men before you do this. It's important that you feel. You can shuffle how you want, but feel them cards, and just trust. Have a little, throw your shit out there. Throw your line out into the open water. See what you catch. I didn't do that. That was my spirit animal, otherwise known as air. You have your question.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're like Nick. You're like more focused on the task
Actually, what
than what the purpose.
Ask a question while you shuffle.
While you're shuffling, you're
Yourself.
feeling, you're
Yourself.
connecting to the cards, and you are connecting with your question, like the thing that is bringing you a little doubt, something that might improve your life if you knew a little bit more about it. Okay. All right. You have it. Alright, now take your hands together. And then take your left hand. After it's nice and close your eyes. Close your eyes. Hover your hand over the cards. And kind of wipe it like this way and that over them. Slowly, slowly. And then just feel it out. Take a couple breaths. Wherever your hand takes you, just let it go.
Do I pick one?
Yeah. Or you can look at it, and now when you
Not-
look,
I look at the card?
yeah, take it in, think of your questions, see what kind of emotional response you have, any thoughts that come to mind, and then I will find the reason. Let's see it. Sage of Wands. Okay, so there's like an owl on there. There's this dude by a fire with an eagle and like this monk-looking guy. A mountain with the sun and eagle. This does make me this. Okay, this other guy is painting like Chinese symbols. It seems like I gotta.
Do I
You
say,
know what's up.
Do I say what it is?
You don't have to even tell me. I can just look at this knowing you and being like, yeah, that's what's up. Like that's
Dude, I'm
Alex.
anxious to hear
There
this.
couldn't be a card that better represents somebody that I know, actually.
I think so too. That's
I mean, immediately that was you. There's no doubt about that.
Do you mind holding it up, dude? I want to get a picture
So,
of you with
Sage
it.
of Wands.
Yeah.
When you think of Alex, you think of a fire, you think of a circle, you think of a sage, you think of somebody that's leading the way to the next fire circle, the next camping trip. Any thoughts come to mind?
Yeah, I think it says, I think 4 things to me. I think it says history, nature, peace, and everything. Ooh. I think it. That's what it said to me.
I thought it's like he looks kind of like a shaman right there, right? That guy? It's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's like an Aborigine.
Don't you just want to carry the card around with you?
Yeah, this is.
It's like your
Beautiful,
token,
huh?
right?
Okay, so you are a sage. You have seen the light, and I feel like we all know that. Like the priest, monk, kahuna, priestess, and shaman, you have seen your immortality. Unafraid of death, you've become the eternal flame, the firelight that guides others in their evolution to higher consciousness. Your mastery of a spiritual art or a discipline empowers you through energy, perceptivity, character, and purity to awaken and enlighten. Zen calligrapher, enlightening the power of the world. Tibetan chanter, power of sound. Hindu sadhu, power of meditation. Hawaiian seer, power of vision. Shaman, healing power. Greek Orthodox priest, power of symbols and ritual. Share your wisdom and your gifts using the tools and processes that work for you.
I think that goes right on too.
And with wands,
It's remarkable, actually.
The wands attribute symbolize your spirit, for they are associated with the eternal light, and all the wands cards in the Voyager contain some form of light or fire.
Wow.
These wands are the tools for which you magically create yourself and your world. Your hands are your most magical tools.
So go back. Is that the end of it? Go back to the first 3 sentences you read on the main one.
Your hands are the most magical tools? That's kind of cool.
That is interesting. Wow. That's really.
Do you connect to that?
I do, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, go ahead. So what does it mean to you?
I just think it means, I think it does mean I'm on the right path, and I think that I felt, it's weird because when I was waving my hands over the cards, I felt a lot of really, really, really stableness right here. And then it was like cold and fucking nothing right here. And then I felt something really, really strong right there.
That's pretty cool.
So that's why it's interesting to me, because I feel like it does.
It matches how you feel?
I think so.
I feel like it matched what I think of you, from the outside. A sage. Someone that doesn't buy into the bullshit, that like lives beyond it.
I think that I'm late to recognize things about myself, that I maybe even knew before, so I don't where at the end you said to share it, what I feel like I've learned, or what I feel like I've or at least have to share,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like that's the one thing I haven't quite tapped into yet for myself.
You mean you internalize your experience? You don't share
Yeah,
it?
and I think maybe that's the mask here. Maybe that's what the mask is.
Interesting.
Everyone has a little bit of a mask. Right?
Yeah, that's very honest. Yeah.
Because that kind of sticks out. That's different than everything
what?
else on the whole thing.
Who's that?
The bird, the bird, statue. That's sort of like a representation of
Where's it? Can you go to the thing?
What thing?
bird goddess.
He
What
wanted
is
you
it called again?
Sage of Wands. I'm really glad you brought this, Marian. It's really cool.
It's my favorite.
Isn't it fun?
It's really fun, actually, yeah.
Because it's crazy. Like, if I would have gotten that, that would have been weird. I don't think I wouldn't
I
have
know.
related
I
to a
know.
ton of that.
I know.
That's what you got to think about. Like, does any of these other ones relate to you? Like, I felt really cold in here. Can I look at one of these?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, it's like
Like, that doesn't represent me.
Seven of Worlds.
Let's
Yeah,
see.
it's like,
Where's it?
yeah, Nick, if I'd gotten yours, or you'd gotten mine, I mean, maybe if you got mine, because you're kind of going through the whole IVF or the pregnancy type deal too. But
It's interesting because you can look into almost anything too, though. Because you could kind of. Could you find a lot of things in that one?
so yeah, I could actually.
Arizona.
The connection of that, like being another planetary, I'm in turmoil right now.
So
With
it's
the volcano.
also what it is doing, and the point of it is to direct your mind in the direction it wants to go.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about right or wrong.
that was
Yeah.
It's about
my question was, where are you going?
it's about like a breadcrumb into your psyche.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, right. Because you can't think. You're not going to necessarily speak of something that isn't in your recent memory
Mm-hmm.
necessarily. But maybe that's not true. Maybe there's.
I mean, but it has been surprisingly accurate.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it does
Yep,
happen where
yeah.
it doesn't match for me.
Mm-hmm.
But you resonated with the mask, which is probably something not just recent. That's if it is what you said.
Well,
you
just
know, it's
because I
like-
didn't notice it until
To the-
like way at the end. Like, I
Gotcha.
looked at everything else. Except
That's a
for
badass
Did you
owl,
notice
by the way. Did you
things
see
as
that?
she was saying it?
that.
I did.
Because a lot of times that happens to me. She'll be reading the card, and then I'll see the thing in the card.
Yeah, I didn't even see some of it. I didn't even see the octopus tendrils in my card until she read it. Actually,
Isn't that cool?
yeah.
You know, and the thing is, like, from the side, I kind of look like a bird. So there's 2 birds on there, and 3 birds on there. See what I'm saying?
A lot of birds.
Do you feel like a bird now?
Bird.
I guess
Bird
so.
is the
There's 3
word.
fucking birds on here.
All right, are you gonna read the?
Well, not to put you on the spot, but Greg earlier was talking about. I'm talking towards you, so the mic picks me up. But you were talking about your, and you can cut this out, but your man camp idea, or your what were you calling it?
Oh, the men's group. Starting a men's group. Yeah.
Men's group.
Yeah.
So Greg earlier was talking about a men's group idea, and you were saying like you want to lead these other men, right? And I was thinking like you were that for me growing up, right? It was like, what if I didn't grow up with you? Would I be into the same shit, or would I care? Or if I didn't hang out with you guys, would I be out here? Or her, because she likes doing this, right? Like I am the follower in this realm, and I'm okay with that. Like that's where I want to be.
Interesting.
But in the second sentence it said, unafraid of death, you become central flame, the firelight that guides others into the evolution, okay, so it says, you become the central flame, the firelight that guides others in their evolution to higher consciousness. That's literally tonight, for me.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah.
It's like, I came up here, which is not something I normally do, and when I was coming up here, I was thinking, like throwing a baseball as a kid, you get good at it because you just throw it over and over again, and the muscles just become. It's something that you do, and I need. My goal is to make camping and being outdoors like flex that muscle as much as possible.
And for the listeners that don't know, Nick drove up after work after 8.
And he has to work tomorrow morning.
So he got here at like 9.
And by the way, kudos to you. That's pretty badass. That's worthy of a cheers.
But you guys are that.
Ding.
You guys are that thing for me.
That's
That
interesting
it's like-
I feel like it's especially with people that are your close friends and family and everything. You do that for each other throughout the years. It goes back and forth. It's like
you learn things from
it's
each
like
other.
you learn things from each other. Like I know I wouldn't have gotten into yoga as soon as I did if it wasn't for you.
Yeah.
But I know my sister told me for years, and other people did too.
Yep.
But it's become a big part of my health with my body right now, and I think it's important that I learned that. And I don't need to always go to class and stuff necessarily because I know enough now to do it. But
you saw me go on my journey.
But that was a journey that you took. That
Totally.
oh, shit, you know. Yeah.
Should we retire to the fire?
Can you don't want to do one, Marian?
Oh, I don't want to do myself, y'all.
How about
I'm
can
done.
I do you?
I'm done with my brain.
How about I do it for you?
So done with my fucking.
Are you done with your brain?
I don't
Okay,
wanna,
that's fair.
Here's the thing. I don't
Let's
like to
make up a tarot card for her at the
I
fire.
don't like to talk about myself, honestly. Okay.
She doesn't ever do it really with me. She does it with her friends sometimes.
I do it alone. I don't like to talk about my shit in front of other people.
She make it up.
Her tarot card would just be a bottle of wine. Just
Shut
that.
up.
And you'd
Shut
be like,
up,
interpret
motherfucker.
this. And she'd be like,
Wine.
I'm gonna do it
drank
later.
wine.
Shut up. I love that we did this so last minute. This makes me so happy.
Yeah, right. It's funny. Sometimes getting things together last minute always comes. It comes together. Actually, this week I told everyone in my family that I have depression right now.
Really?
Yep. I just wanted them to know that I'm kind of
Feel
struggling.
powerful? Feel powerful?
Yeah, it does because it's like I know it's not forever, and I accept it as a cycle. And I think it's kind of funny because talking about the hangman and wrestling with your demons and whatnot, it kind of spoke to me too. It's like, don't fight it, just go with it. You know, it's just a cyclical thing.
Give yourself permission to be depressed.
Yeah.
And I, as somebody that's suffered with depression since age 13, I know that it's best when I just let it go. Like if I need to be sad for a whole day, just let it happen.
Yep.
And then dig myself out of it with habits that I've learned. And I've been also in therapy for a long ass time.
I feel like in life you can't, and I truly believe this, you can't be happy all the time, and you can't really appreciate happiness unless you have the sadness with it. You need to have some spectrum. Like if you've never had struggle or you've never, had a challenge, that victory is not gonna taste as sweet, So I'm kind of chalking it up.
At all.
It won't be a victory. Yeah, you're right. I'm chalking it up to that this is part of my story. Part of my...
I love to think about everything as a story.
Yeah, me too.
It's
Me
way
too.
farther away from me. And I'm more of a part of me. It's like, if you include it in a story, it's like I am not alone. I'm a part of a story of a human race in this time, and, I'm not alone.
Can you guys trace the moment when you either your first time outdoors or where you said man, I love this. This is what I want to do or need to do more of,
Can I go first? Because it's just so new in my head.
Yeah.
I feel like every time I was outdoors, I wanted to like it, but hated it. But I wanted to. Genuinely, Alex is laughing. And
I believe
my
that.
my whole life, it was well, my friends do it, so I'll go with them. But I don't know what clicked, and I don't know if it was you guys I was telling that I've become so busy and have worked so many hours in a dark office that now I actually do crave being outside, which is it's crazy even to me. I'm like, so I can remember the time because I think my first time, no, that's not true because we've gone to, what is that campground? we went camping at
I
in
don't
Santa
know.
Barbara?
I don't know.
Lake Kachima? Are you talking about that?
No.
Santa Barbara.
It's
Is
like
it
I'm
on-
sorry, in Ojai.
Oh, Wheeler Gorge.
Wheeler Gorge. So I've gone to Wheeler Gorge and really enjoyed it. I've done things outside and really enjoyed it, but I've never actually sought after it, and now I am. And it's been like super recent is what I'm getting at.
Okay.
So I can remember it like it was yesterday because it very well may have been. Like, but I need it.
Yeah.
I'm like yeah, I don't know what it is. I need it.
What about it? Like, what do you think? What does it help reset? If you're staring at your computer all day, what does it do for you?
The obvious juxtaposition of staring at a computer and looking at a fire and them being polar opposites. But I think it's more that I always like the workouts I do. I like them to push me, right? Because I'm testing my body, and then my body lets me know, like, all right, I'm working, fool. Like, I got you. And so mentally, when I go out into the wilderness, it's a mental exercise that my brain then tells me, like, I got you. See, like, we were up in the fucking mountains and you were fine. We were in the middle of a lake and you were fine. So it's my brain reporting back, like, we can do this thing. And it's like accomplishing
It's like
something.
pushing boundaries in some ways.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Pushing boundaries to then train myself, like, you run 5 miles and it's really long, but then you do that a lot, right? And then 5 miles becomes normal. And then you up it to 10, and then you up it to 20.
Yeah, okay.
It's me just pushing my mental capacity to allow me to be able to do these things.
That's cool. I like that. Football
Fucking
lady.
yelling in my left ear. Yeah, I got.
By the way, Marian's
I've been-
holding a football.
I've been
like
hugging
she's
a football
breastfeeding
like
this football
I just
here.
gave birth. I've never been happier. My football baby. This thing is quiet as fuck. Gives me so much love.
Doesn't even need milk.
Doesn't need changing. I don't want to hear shit.
How about you, Marian?
What about me?
When was
my?
when did you discover?
I grew up going camping, like with like Girl Scouty things, and I got sent away to a summer camp. And so it was kind of forced on me, but I still liked it. I didn't know I needed it until I didn't have it. Because it was, luckily, I had the privilege of being exposed to it at a young age in a controlled environment that was really fun. I was blessed. And until I didn't have that, like when I went to college, did I know I needed to cultivate that on my own, go find it again. But I've always loved it. I was always enchanted by the quiet in the sky, and the stars, and the fire, and the camaraderie of people around a fire. Yeah. You're welcome.
You know-
Listeners, I hope you're well.
You know, earlier Al was saying, like, what random facts do we not know about each other that we
Yeah.
could guess? You know what I was going to say?
Well,
And so part of it I got right.
mhm.
I was like, I bet you were a Girl Scout, and I bet you, like, kicked ass on selling Girl Scout cookies. Like, you were, like, the
no,
top dog.
Okay. I only did it once.
Okay.
I hated fucking doing things that I was told. I hated.
She still does.
Oh my god, if somebody tells me to do something, much less sell something, it's like, go fuck yourself. And I started that very young.
Oh, shit.
So Girl Scouts, I was the worst Girl Scout ever.
Yeah?
Barely showed up, never had my uniform. We had to sell cookies, and like I just went door to door and I sold them. I collected the money and I didn't deliver the cookies. I just
Extortion.
And it wasn't because I ate them. I just didn't even pick them up. Like I was lazy. I was like, I don't give a fuck.
That's hilarious.
I was like, these motherfuckers trying to get me to push their cookies. I don't want to. I'm terrified of people I don't know. You're asking me to knock on their fucking door. You're asking me to ask them to buy cookies. Like, it was so much for me. I thought it was ridiculous. I thought it was fucking absurd. but they were hardcore pushing us to do it.
Yeah.
I fucking did it, but then I was like, I don't want to deliver the goddamn cookies. I just want to hang out in my backyard or something.
I would figure your dad would be like, go around the office, hey, buy like 20 boxes for my
my
daughter.
dad didn't know what the fuck we were doing ever.
No?
No, he was
No.
working.
How about you?
I feel like we did go to the office a couple times. But I don't know if they ever got their fucking cookies. They're like, your daughter's a scam artist. First of all, your dad barely pays us. And then your daughter comes in here, fucking buy her cookies, and cookies never show up. Yeah.
I have a real quick Girl Scout cookie story that I could tell.
Yeah, do it, man.
So I was playing poker with these guys that I met through one of our friends, and I didn't really know any of them except for my one friend. It was like a group of older guys than I was, and so the guy had a 10-year-old daughter, and we're all playing poker and everything, and he's getting kind of drunk and weird, and he was just, kind of being a little odd, and it was a great night. I mean, he was a super good host and everything, but at the end of the night, he's like, hey, everybody, like, my daughter's selling Girl Scout cookies, like, here you go, I don't expect you to, like, this and whatever. And I was like, well, I don't know if I'll ever see these guys again. Like, I don't want to order them. And then, like, because they're like, you can pay later when you get the boxes or whatever, And I was like, and then I was like, well, hey, like, I'm not going to buy any boxes. So, and he did this in front of his daughter. His daughter's standing right in front of him. And he's like, I'm like, hey, I'm not going to buy any boxes. So can I just donate $20, And he just, like, looked at me and he was like, really, bro? You're gonna hand my daughter $20? And I was like,
What's wrong with that?
he wanted me to order them properly or whatever. Like, he was like, it was like this weird thing that I did, and I was like, oh my god, did I do something crazy, bizarre?
You're like, yeah. It's like, I don't want the cookies. I just want to donate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he took it like in this weird way, and I was just like, what?
Was he drunk?
Yeah, I think so.
What a fucking weirdo.
But it was bizarre. It was
Yeah.
awkward.
Smacked the shit out of him in front of his daughter. And teach her
I was
a
like, dude,
lesson.
I'm trying to fucking help out here.
Your dad got your ass kicked badge.
I'm like, you're putting us all on the spot, damn it. As
Yeah,
it
no
is.
shit.
Like, I'm trying to help out here.
Oh, don't touch my football. Sorry. Nick's trying to take my football.
Oh my
God.
Don't touch
So
my
how about you, Al?
fucking football.
When did you discover nature, dude? Or when did you say, this is the life?
I mean, like Marian, I'll say I was definitely fortunate to have a family that like took me out early because we were always doing stuff in Ohio, and I think my first memory camping was actually in the backyard. Probably when I was 4 or 5, we used to like set up the tent in the backyard and just spend the night in the backyard.
That's awesome. Yeah.
I do remember the first time ever. It got really cold, and I think it was probably, I don't know what time it was, but probably like 1 or 2 in the morning, and we went back inside.
How's camping in Ohio, by the way?
It's great because there's a million lakes.
Yeah.
I mean, one of my first, when you first said that, you're like, what's your first? The first flash was this flash of the first time I caught a bluegill that I can remember anyways. And it was actually, this is probably better for Nick's podcast, Gone Fishing, but it correlates since you asked it here. Because it's part of the camping, like we'd always camp on my birthday because it was in June.
Okay.
Which is a really good time of year. So every year that was the trip. And then I remember, like, me and my brothers just, it's not really about catching the fish, it's about who can cast further.
Totally.
Like, that's really what it's about. Like,
It's
more
so
than
true.
anything. Like, you all know where the furthest bopper landed.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, like, we pulled in bluegill, that the one day I'm thinking of, just like probably 15 or 20 of them in like an hour, like it was tons of them. But that's what those lakes are like there in Ohio. They're just full of it. But I camped, I mean, a lot. Like every summer we did probably 2 or 3 trips as a family.
Yeah.
So that was always something, like Marian said too, like I wanted to keep going. Like when we first moved out here, Nick, like, the first 3 or 4 years I was out here, I don't think I camped for maybe 3 years.
Because you didn't have any homies that camped,
I
huh?
had a car. And
Yeah.
I had a truck in Arizona. I moved here. I got a car.
You
Gotcha.
do need a homie. I think that's
And then none of my friends out here at
imperative.
the time, or first moved out here, not many friends at all, and you're broke.
And
you're
you're
just trying to get going
Right.
in, your career. Like, I don't have gas money. How am I
Yeah.
going to go camp? Like, so it was 3 or 4 years, before I got a truck, and then, everyone was down to go, and then going back to Arizona with my other brothers. They're
Yeah.
all down to camp. But I think everyone needs to find it at some point in their life. At least just, even if it's a barrier that they're like, well, I don't have all the gear. Or I don't have all, like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, the best story, I'm gonna stop telling stories after this. This is my last one, I promise.
don't apologize.
Commandeering your podcast.
No,
You're
dude.
on a roll.
Yeah, keep talking, man. Love it.
We went to Wheeler Gorge, which we were just talking about, not too far from here. Melissa, we got everything all packed up. We had a whole weekend planned. Like, a bunch of people were gonna meet us out here 2 nights, and we were like one of the first ones to get out there. So we were out there way early, and we get there, and like Melissa's like, "Oh, where are my sweatpants?" I'm like, "Oh, they're." And I don't know. Like, where are your sweatpants? She's like, "Oh, they're in the bag." I'm like, "What bag?" I left her 2 bags that she packed for her whole trip at the house. So we had nothing of hers.
I was there, actually.
Yeah.
I remember that.
So
She had to get by the whole
she
weekend.
was a little pissed at first, but rightfully, but I didn't pack them. They were like sitting there, but shortly she was like, we went in town, just got like socks and a few things and just stuff for the night or the couple days, and it was fine. And she had a great time. And she's like, you know what? I learned you don't really, all that time I spent preparing, and I still went and had an amazing time. Didn't have, like, completely derailed every plan I made. Everything I put in there was planned.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Still had a great time. And probably one of her better, and a memory that she'll never forget. It's key.
I have felt more power in minimalism lately. Like this morning I woke up and we hadn't talked about it yet, like if I was for sure going to go or not. And I should just state, did we state I'm married to Marian?
Yeah.
This is my wife here.
Yeah.
So when I'm talking
I
about
think they
waking up
probably
with
figured
her-
that out based on how we talk
I
to
sleep
each other.
with this girl.
It's like,
She's seen me naked.
he puts his
So-
dick in me.
So that's my girl. So I woke up this morning and I just grabbed a change of clothes for tomorrow at work and some sweats for tonight. And I just threw them in my laptop bag, which is also a backpack. And I just left. And I was like, well, if I fucking need anything, I need anything. Knew I wasn't going to shower before I go to work tomorrow, which might be gross, but I just didn't even care, and I didn't even know who I was. I was like, who the fuck am I? Like, what is wrong with me? 'Cause you guys
That's
know
out of
me.
character?
No,
Yeah,
It's not
yeah.
Nick
it's
at all.
not me. It's not me. And I was like, who
It's
is
not
this
him.
guy?
Well,
So
I love it.
I'm like fucking shocked that he's here right now. I'm actually speechless. That's why I've been so fucking quiet.
There you go.
Yeah,
I rendered you speechless.
yeah, you did.
I came up
It's the first.
wherever you guys were for her 32nd birthday.
Don't
Lake-
age me, motherfucker.
Lake Kachuma. Lake Kachuma.
No, yeah.
I came up for her 46th.
Nick, shut the fuck up. Probably 33.
And I was
That's
surprising her, and she was going camping with you guys
Yeah.
at the yurt.
That was
So
dope.
I
That was dope.
surprising
That was
Marian,
so fun.
and I get up there, blacked out. Like you'll never remember anything. Like
I was
'cause
hammered.
I had to go up that
I
night
ate so much cake.
and drive back in the morning.
I could smoke so much weed.
I was like,
Ate
I'll
so much
surprise her.
cake.
And I get there, she's like,
I was like, get out of my bunk bed, you fuck.
she didn't want to share the bed with me.
That's hilarious.
I was shopping for wedding dresses that day.
That's amazing.
I know, it was weird.
You guys gotta say how the apartment thing real quick.
What thing?
You guys lived in the same.
Oh, the apartment story, dude. The apartment
okay.
story.
So Nick and I, we've been together for 3 years. We found out a few days ago that we lived in the exact same bedroom in an apartment in Los Angeles. Los Angeles that is filled with 10 million people. We happen to live in the same bedroom, on the same street, in the same apartment.
and you're now married.
Wild.
And now we're
It's
married.
wild.
It's like, it's insane, dude. It's
There's
absolutely
other
insane.
shit going on.
I don't know how much.
The
religious
cosmos brought you together.
There's other.
Yeah.
I feel like there are some kind of outside spirit things
Yeah,
pushing us together.
What year do you think that building was built?
60.
60s.
yeah, mid 60s.
Let's say it's been around 56, let's say 60 years. There's been probably maybe 75, 80 tenants there in the history of time
Yeah,
from Earth.
that's giving it a lot. That's saying that they spend like a couple of years.
Yeah. I was there 2.5 years.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
you were there year or whatever.
Yeah.
it's-
I bet you it's even less. I bet you it's more like 40 people have been in there.
My condo, the place I live from the 60s, I'm the second person from 1960. So you don't.
The one you have now?
Yeah.
No shit.
There's only one woman that lived in it before that.
yeah,
Did she
I
haunt
mean,
the
it could've-
building?
She
it
died
might-
in
it might
there.
only be like
Did she
20
haunt it?
people.
Can you hear her?
I have seen some shit. I don't think it's her though.
That happened.
I think it's
That
something
happened.
else.
Yeah, no, that lived in that apartment. You know what I mean?
Not many.
You
I
were
don't think-
two of like 20 or 40 or 50 people.
Maybe
Yeah,
less.
no, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's really, really coincidental.
The odds are, well, no, a lot. You guys, I think we should also bring it into whatever fucking conversation that y'all are the people that were there when I met Nick.
Oh, this is the core
This is-
core.
Oh,
exact core.
shit.
When I rolled up in this parking lot of the bar, it was
We were-
Alex digging in his truck
Yeah.
for weed, Greg, and Nick.
We were at the Rustic, and we were leaving. We were just token. We're going to kind of just chill out for the night. Yeah. And didn't you come in the car?
I was listening to Michael Jackson Earth Song,
Yeah.
and we stepped out of the car and danced.
You were
in the
dancing.
parking lot, and then I was like, "Are y'all definitely smoking weed?" And I want some.
Yeah.
So we did it.
And it was like a way, like any other night, we would have ended up staying there till midnight. For some reason, we left like 10:30 or something.
Yeah, I don't remember
We were
why.
like, all right, I'm out.
And then Nick
Yeah.
left a note in my car.
Yeah. Did you keep the note?
Yeah.
She has the note.
That's cool. What was it like? Do you like me, or would you like to get ice
Would
cream
you
or
like
something?
to go on a walk? Yeah. Check yes. And
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly what it said, but
Do you like me? Yes or no?
it said
But
like,
the point is,
off.
like, it was the four. Like, I don't think I've hung out with just the four of y'all since then.
yeah, maybe.
No
Since
shit.
that first night, 3 years. So,
Wow. Well, welcome back.
yeah.
Here we are,
Smoking weed,
in front of the campfire,
trying to have babies.
where we belong.
Trying to have babies and not doing very well.
Baby making.
Having some
I
challenges.
don't think our superhero babies are ready to enter.
They're
this
not
world.
ready to enter the
The
world.
world's not ready for them.
The world is not ready for our superhero.
By the way, now that I do have both of you here,
Mhm.
I do want to share the story of Chuchupate
Oh man.
because I think it's such a great
I
story.
thought you were gonna talk about something personal. Okay, go for it.
No, so we're
Wait, what?
we're camped right across the mountain. Like we looked across the ridge, we would see another campground. It's called Chuchupate.
Is that up here?
Yeah, it's right across. And so there's a road that
Are y'all
divides us
gonna
here.
pull
It's
my
right over there.
fucking leg?
So we were camping one night, and actually, Nick and Marian had secured the site, and my brother
That was
Ross
the
and I came up,
worst.
and it was cold as fuck. But Ross and I went to bed. We wake up in the morning.
No, at first I think the listeners should know that my husband and I spent 3 hours plus in the car because some fucking semi rolled over. So it took us like 2 to 3 times as long as it should have to get to the place. Then we had to drive around the dark, find a spot. So we were in a state of agitation. Then we realized we didn't have batteries for our flashlights, so we're trying to like make this beautiful salami cheese plate with wine, and it didn't really work out. And then y'all shut up, and we had like a minimum of an hour fun, and then we lay down to go to bed, and we're freezing our fucking ass off. And I hear voices. Wait, I never told you that part, but you go on and finish it.
Oh, you heard voices? I
I
didn't know
heard
that.
sounds of TVs
Yeah?
from the 20s. It was weird.
Oh, really? Okay. So it was like one of those things. But the funny thing was, Ross and I woke up, and it was like fucking leftovers on HBO because Nick and Marian's tent was there, but we look
bailed.
inside. The zipper was open. They're gone. We're like, what the
We
fuck?
got the fuck out of there.
Your food, you'd left your food out for us.
Yeah.
and the raccoons or whoever just got into it. It was fucking everywhere. So we're like, did they get murdered? Did they get, kidnapped? Did UFOs get them or whatnot? So Ross and I...
UFOs, you thought of that?
I did, actually. Maybe for a split second.
Interesting. Okay.
But it was definitely interesting because we were like, where the fuck did they go? So, but
We left.
a good story to be had.
I got.
I will in a second. I'm
Is
halfway.
that a Coors Light?
In my life.
Still
What?
to this day, huh?
In my life, I've never been more cold than that moment.
Greg,
Yeah.
it was miserable.
No, I'm not saying it wasn't
No,
cold. I
I'm
was
telling
laughing.
you,
And just shake
we got in the car and put the heater on, and we're like, this feels so good, we have to go home.
Yeah.
Like, we can't, like, why would we stay in that tent?
just
And when
the
Greg,
funny-
I drove home with the heater blasted, and I was like with the cheese and
We
just
didn't
so
say a word
hard
to each other.
because I was
Yeah.
so fucking happy I was going to get to go
Yeah.
home. And then we got home, took a hot shower, got in bed, and it was like I was reborn.
Yeah, yeah.
I
We didn't
just-
say a word
It
to
was
each other.
so bad.
When we got home, I was like, we did the right thing.
We were both like, yes, we did. Yeah, like there was no shame in our decision
I love it.
at all.
The
Like,
funny thing was,
I didn't
when
care if we lost everything
when
that
I
night.
when I texted Nick the next day, he's like, don't worry about the tent, just leave it there. I was like, no, dude, I'll bring your tent to you. It's all
I
good.
didn't even want you to. We didn't deserve it.
We didn't deserve it. We bailed. Like we should have lost
And
that.
I knew it. I just that tent was for the gods, man. It was
so cold you were willing.
We pussed the fuck out. I was laying on that ground. It was like an ice sheet. I needed to go.
That's so funny. Holy shit! What the fuck just came off my head? Oh, my
Your hat?
flashlight.
your flash.
Or mouse.
Oh fuck, that's funny. God, I'm crying laughing. There it is. Thank you.
That's fucking too funny.
I
Greg,
never got a chance to talk to both you guys about at the same time, so thank you for letting me give you guys
Do you have any
shit.
farts on deck?
No farts on deck, but
That's a shame.
we could call it. We've been recording for a while now.
I'm sure it's still funny.
You haven't been talking much, Greg.
You haven't.
No, that's all right. I don't mind, dude. I think it's all the most important thing about here is just getting out here and talking in general.
I just want to be.
I don't want to be the one that talks the most. It's funny. Sometimes I'm go to this group therapy class, and sometimes when the therapist talks so much, it's like tuned out. It's way better when everyone's sharing their stuff and having good engagement.
Mhm.
I'd rather be engaged.
Podcast is when you don't have to carry it.
Exactly.
It just flows.
Yeah, man, this is just fucking awesome. This is nice. I gotta send a shout out to we were talking about what got us into camping, and my dad is not really a camper. If it wasn't for you were talking about people who like lead you to things and like encourage you. My buddy Adam, his dad Gib, was a big outdoorsman and got my dad into hunting and into camping and all that stuff. And if it wasn't for Gib, like we would never have camped. Because in that he was the scoutmaster, and then like I was a Boy Scout, and so on and so forth. So it's kind of interesting how like things start. There's always someone that starts a trend,
Totally.
Yeah, and you can either choose to step into it, like you're stepping into it right now, It's pretty cool.
Did you guys ever have, in Ohio, we had 6th grade camp? You guys ever have that? No?
No.
We had 6th grade camp. So when you got to 6th grade, your whole class, which in our elementary school was just 2 classfuls. So it
Oh,
was
wow.
60 kids. And we went to, I think it was Camp Mishindo, which is right on the corner of Michigan, Indiana, and Ohio. And, but I think that a huge thing for kids is if you go to a camp with other kids, like these school bus that just pulled up,
Yeah.
they're having like the time of their lives right now.
Oh,
Totally.
yeah.
It's like
This is the
that's
best
like a
time.
puppy running in an open field.
Yeah, man.
It's like, yeah.
Totally.
You're with your friends. You're like,
Totally.
don't have to be with your parents. You're free.
Yeah, like it's crazy.
You're eating s'mores in the outside. Like,
Yeah. So, camping, at a young age with like that.
It's very formative. You're right. It's like those are the things you have to make
it's
sure
the
that your
best thing in
kids
the
can do.
world. Yeah.
And fishing.
My kids
Teach them to fish.
Like, summer camp was the best time of my fucking life. That was like, I mean, I missed home. There were some, sour parts to it, but, like you're a little kid.
I'm laughing because the one time camp was brought up, I was probably 5, which means my brother was 8 or 9, and they were going to send my brother to camp, and we had just moved to Arizona. My parents got divorced, so my dad was still in Rhode Island, and my mom had taken us to Arizona. And they were going to send Matt to camp. And I went on like a full strike at like 5. I launched in opposition, and I was like, no, I won't eat. I won't like watch TV.
Are you fucking
I won't
kidding
help.
me?
I completely.
Did you bully your brother
you didn't-
out of
No,
going
I
to camp?
didn't bully Matt. I couldn't bully him. I revolted, and he was just like felt terrible, you know, and he was just kind of like, Nick's so sad. Like, I can't go to this place that like makes Nick this sad. And so Matt didn't go to camp because I just couldn't handle
Nick,
him
you
being,
asshole.
But I couldn't handle him being away from me.
Because he was
I
your
didn't
boy,
understand
man.
Why at the time?
Yeah.
My parents had just split.
That was really
so, like,
sweet of him to not go, but
Yeah.
I can't say I'd do the same thing.
No, you'd have left your sisters.
I would have left you. I would have left everybody.
You want to hear a funny?
See ya,
You
summer
want to hear
camp.
a funny story? When I was a kid, so there was this camp, and it was like a YMCA camp outside of Tucson in Oracle, and so I signed up for it. And actually, I think Adam was supposed to go, my buddy Ike, but they both ended up bailing. So I literally, my mom paid for it. She's like, I paid for it, you're going. I was like, none of my friends are there. I don't even fucking know anybody. She's like, you're going. So I went. At the time, I'm like 9 years old. Now, I'm going to admit something that's kind of embarrassing. I sucked my thumb until I was 10 years old. Okay.
Whoa.
I was a late sucker thumber too.
Were you? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I believe
So,
that.
I was so
7,
mortified. I would wait
20,
in the
35.
cabin for everybody to go to sleep before I would go to sleep because I didn't want anyone to see me. I would like lay in bed. I don't know, maybe, but I would wait. I would sleep. Okay,
You hit it?
I hit it. Yeah,
Secret sucker
I know.
thumber?
I can't wait. I couldn't sleep
I didn't-
without it.
So you knew you did it.
Were you
Yeah.
sucking your thumb like you were sucking your own dick?
No, I can't do that anymore. Unfortunately, I'm not as limber as I used to be.
Did you guys have like I wonder if everyone has this or if it was just certain people, but do you have like certain little weird tics or things you did like that went away, you know, like throughout
I
your
used to
childhood?
count
I used to chew my
everything on
toenails.
fingers. Like I'd be like,
You
count
did
the
that.
even or
Yeah.
odd letters in a word. I'd be like waffle, WAFFLE. And if it wasn't even, I'd spell another word until it was even. Some weird little OCD thing.
I used to chew my toenails.
Delicious.
Yeah, I was just instead of like picking them because I had never had fingernails because I chewed my fingernails. So I would just like if I needed instead of cutting my
Needed a
nails, I would just
snack.
put my toe in my mouth, rip the toenail off.
My sister did
I
that.
know it's stupid. I remember my mom
Your
saying, "What the
fucking
hell are you doing?"
It's gross looking.
It's
I went
pretty
to bed
gross.
till I was 15.
Honey,
I just wanted you to have that audio bite.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
I didn't do anything that weird. I was very weird about cracks and stuff.
Yeah.
I know that.
I did
A lot of
this-
kids were.
I did like a
Like going to bed?
just
Because she...
throughout different
I-
times in my life I would just
he makes that noise every
I do
time
that
before
going
he
to
goes
bed, and
She
then
always tells me.
I remember like when I was a kid, it got really bad. Oh, actually, Nick, one time I'll never forget this vision I had. Riding with your family to San Diego, Wade and Margaret, you know. I remember like looking at the stereo telephone poles, and this was at the height of my habit.
Of
And I used to,
the
like,
habit.
when the front end and the back end, when the front end and the back end of the car were perfectly
In the middle.
inside between where the two poles were, I'd go.
But did you know you were doing it? Yes, I did. I did.
You little weirdo.
I fucking was
God.
like, and that was like the height of it. I used to like skip, you know, so no one knew that I was doing it. And then my mom would be like, "Why do you always do that?"
Little
I
Rain
tried to
Man.
stop. It happened. It seemed like it happened for a while.
Do you remember my brother used to itch his balls when he was talking to you?
I did.
Was it just Alex when he talked to
No.
Alex?
No, so my brother, if he was talking to anybody, he'd be doing this. He'd be like, and then I was in the store, and you'd be like,
Shut up.
and
Mid-story,
Alex would always
yeah.
be like, Matt, you're itching your balls. But he wouldn't stop. He would just flick his balls. Oh, dude, I was fucking, I was playing
why?
basketball, and I was just, but
Quick.
So
Marian,
gross.
Quick.
for as long as his story
Like,
was.
as fast as you can do it.
You're lying.
I'm sorry,
No.
Matt.
This sounds like too
I
much.
did
Like
that.
it's not
I actually,
real.
that was one of my other habits I was gonna say. Too.
I got into it too, I think. Itching my
No,
balls. Yeah.
stop.
I did that from like 7 to 9. From 7 to 9,
So Matt started this shitty trend
fucking went like that.
in your fucking community. Matt,
But
I'm
Matt's was
disappointed.
very like,
No, Matt's was different. Mine was like I had like it was when I was in like gymnastics and stuff, and I just was constantly adjusting myself, like I fucking like wearing this, like
yeah, you're like, this shouldn't be wearing this.
yeah. But I mean, even
leotard.
but then it just translated into like even when no matter what, wearing sweatpants. You know? But Matt took it to a whole nother level because he'd do it right in front of you on purpose. Yeah, he would start telling you a story, be like, oh, dude. I got to
Oh no!
That's exactly it.
Are you guys just discovering that you all saw that?
I mean,
No, we all
me and
knew.
Alex
We've
knew.
talked
I didn't
about it.
Actually,
know Greg knew.
I never knew that.
I didn't know you
I
did
just
that.
thought because a lot of dudes do that though.
They
So,
itch their
yeah.
balls when they talk.
I had a couple of friends that do that. Yeah, I feel like there's a part in your life where you're adjusting your junk a little
Is
bit
it
more.
like you're like tapping the mic? You're like getting ready to talk. Is this thing on?
It might be.
Is this
Is this dick on?
dick on? Let me talk into my dick. I'm so important to have a dick. Let me hear me.
Let's get this.
Get it raging.
Where was Ian?
Took off the old
Yeah. So what was Ian's tick? You said?
Ian's tick.
Yeah. He would do the finger thing, like you were saying.
Yeah, he'd count his fingers and scratch his forearm all the time.
Actually, you know what your brother does a lot? This.
Yeah.
He pulls his sleeves up.
He never has sleeves.
He does it when he has no
He
sleeve
doesn't
on.
wear sleeves.
If he's wearing sleeves, if they're like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like.
There was
I'm
another
trying to
one
think
I
of
had.
any time I've seen him in sleeves.
There's
2
this
weddings.
There's a kid in one of my classes in school, and he did this thing where he'd go like
What?
with his face, he just bulge his eyes out.
Oh yeah.
Creepy.
But I adapted that habit for like 2 months.
Why?
I don't know. It freaked me out when he did it, but I was like, "What is he doing?" And I
You're
tried it.
freaking me out that I'm
You're
gonna do
playing
And I
with
was
it.
like,
I know,
and then
right?
so like every 10 minutes, I just like stretched my eyes open as wide as they could.
Weird.
Try it, Marian.
No.
Just do it, man. Just do
Yeah,
it.
you have to make the noise you do.
Eyeballs.
You gonna heat up those sausages?
The vegan egans.
Dude, we got some vegan sausages, man.
More of it.
Yeah, honey, we're on
Yeah.
a vegan roll.
This is the
Marian and I are apparently going fucking vegan as of today.
dude, but this is the calm before the storm, dude. We got to get our hunter safety license.
No, yeah, I'm not giving it up forever, but
Yep.
I want to get my hunter safety license. So
I'll
far,
eat
yeah.
Yep.
hunted
Me
food.
too. Bass Pro Shops, dude. We can do it on a.
Our
Hunted
goal as men should be to provide the turkeys for Thanksgiving.
I love
I'm not
that
eating
idea.
a turkey
I'll
unless
be
you
the
guys
farmer.
kill it.
Dude, I you
I
know,
literally,
I'll
as a
plant the corn and I'll be
newly
the
made
farmer.
vegan
There you
or
go.
something or whatever the fuck I
You want
am,
to come on the hunt with us, though?
I'll film it.
there you go.
I'll be there nagging you.
We
Yeah.
can commit to that.
Don't
I can totally.
shoot
yeah.
the turkey
We could
that
probably
way.
do a course before the end of August.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Right
Okay.
before you
I'll
time-
do the
Right
research.
before you guys shoot, every time I'm like, deer runs away.
Am I done with the microphone? I'm done.
Hey guys, thanks so much for listening. We'll see you next time. Until then, feel free to send me an email, campfirewisdom@gmail.com. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Campfire Wisdom is brought to you from the hills of Rancho Cucamonga. We'd like to thank the men and women that protect our national parks and forests. You make this journey possible. Theme music by Sean Cromwell.